Good afternoon. Barbara, is my tie straight? Or... Do this?
No.
Got it? Very much up there anymore. There used to be, though. That is 23 years ago. So, Janelle, you may have noticed the nervous look at Janelle's face as she called me up here. And I couldn't figure out, first of all, a hand for the staff that puts this event on. They did a fantastic job, up to and including trying to keep me off the agenda. And I kept asking, well, where's the agenda? I have to say something. I've been known in this for a few years, and they kept sort of keeping it away from me. And what I came to find out is, I guess I have a penchant to tell stories. My stories, I tend to go into great detail in some of my stories. And I think they were afraid that I might talk and tell my stories and go way too long. And so, Janelle will be happy to know I've narrowed it down to the top 13 stories, and we should all be out here at 10 o'clock tonight. The other concern, apparently, is I sometimes have colorful language. And so, Janelle, I assure you, I will not swear more than 10 times in the next 5 minutes. What's that?
Don't call anybody idiots.
So, well, yes, I'm not calling anybody idiot. Anyway, it's a true honor for me to be here. I've known Inez in April, about till it was about 2 in the morning. We were coming back from Washington. Never met Inez, and I never even heard of the Union Miles community. It was a new organizer on the west side of Cleveland. And some folks from the Union Miles Development Corporation needed a ride home. And I'm like, yeah, I'm tired, where I'm going. And so I was a new organizer, so I got picked to do it. And just in that brief moment, not knowing that I would have an amazing, almost quarter century of experiences and stories with Inez, she touched me. And something then, I knew that this was a special person and I had a lot to learn from. Back then, I was a little skinnier. I had a heck of a lot more hair, Steve. I didn't swear. I said heck. A heck of a lot more hair. And I think it was a lot nicer back then. I gotta tell you though, from the way Inez looks tonight, I was gonna say, back then she was one hot lady. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one hot lady. Yeah, I want to tell you one story because it really is the epitome of what I respect and love so much about Inez. And I think why the judges with the Purpose Prize picked her. Inez has shared thousands, dare I say, of meetings with lenders, servicers, government officials, politicians, dog catchers, city council people, police, you name it. She's shared them all. And back in the day when we got into predatory lending, this would have been about 2000, I think. And, nobody was serious. We were crazy. Why people would think we're crazy, I have yet to figure out. I'm sure it had nothing to do with the sharks or showing up at bank executives' homes on a Saturday morning and telling their neighbors they're a loan shark. But some people thought we were crazy. And we weren't getting a lot of traction. But we started around 2002, I think it was, getting some traction, or at least scaring the devil out of people. We started to see how good I am. Started to get some traction, and under not Rich Cordray, but under the previous Attorney General, Jim Petro, who is a former Attorney General that we don't talk about as much anymore. We met with one of his top enforcement staffers. And I was used to Inez always carrying the ball, and she was going to be the leader, and she was going to charge, and just really lead the meeting and help us win something. And Mike was good. We had the agenda, we had all the testimony lined up, we had the room figured out, all the stuff that you got to do to prep for a meeting. And I think it was maybe the afternoon before the meeting that Inez said, "Oh, Mark, I'm not chairing the meeting." I'm like, "What?" I'm not chairing the meeting. And I didn't fully understand why. And said, what? Chicken out? What happened? Chicken toast today, or what's going on? But today I understand it, and I understood it that night. She wanted to be in the background, not a stage, not high, but be in the background. And it wasn't because she was afraid of the clown, the gentleman from the Attorney General's office. But rather it's because, and this is the beauty, and it's what makes Inez so amazingly important, it's not about her. Her work in this community, around this state, around this country, is about doing what's right. And part of what it means to be doing what's right is to pass on the gifts and the lessons that she had learned at that point. She had been organizing for 25, 30 years. And she knew that if she kept sharing meetings, that nobody else was going to learn. Catherine touched upon it, Barbara touched upon that, but she always gave people an opportunity, which for her was great. I mean, for her it was real gratifying. Let me tell you, as the organizer, it scared the devil out of me. And I'm like, oh, you guys don't do this. And I swear, I think the other reason was she likes to terrorize me. But what happened was really an amazing thing. We had some newer leaders up front. They were scared to death. But they got through the agenda. They were tough as nails. And when they maybe started to falter, Inez rose from the back. Can you call on me? She tore that guy. She educated that gentleman about the needs of our community and suggested that he do some things that I'm not even going to talk about. And what she did by doing that was, one, she fought, and she modeled what it meant to fight. But what she did after the meeting was amazing. She sat down with those new leaders for probably an hour and debriefed with them, talked about how great a job they did. She gave them the inspiration to chair the next meeting. And a number of those folks went on and worked with us for years to come in the predatory lending fight and fights to come. That's what makes Inez an amazing human being, an amazing leader. I've worked with thousands of leaders throughout my career, and there's always that Lone Ranger mentality. I want the spotlight. Let me talk to the media. I want to be on TV. Inez does her level best to avoid that stuff, which for me just means more work. It's like, come on, let's give me a break. Come on, just do it. But it's because she's committed to developing the human spirit. And ladies and gentlemen, we don't have enough people in this town, this country, this world that are as committed to her. So then I just want to say one other thing. So, it's all about developing leaders. But I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you, I've been with Inez for 23 years. Been an organizer for 23 and a half. Before that, I fried chicken at Kenny K's. So it's pretty safe to say my entire career has been spent with Inez. And for me, what's more important to say tonight is I wouldn't be here. I would have left ESOP. I would have left organizing years ago. But for the patience, the love, and the trust that Inez has shown me over the years. So that I thank Inez. And we have something for Inez. There's a story that I'm not going to go into where we used and called Inez old and decrepit in order to advance in the line on the plane. Inez is anything but old and decrepit. And it's not because of that we want to present her with some memories to look back on in the days that she does become older. But we thought it was fitting because there were two articles that really summed up Inez's work that came out as a result of the Purpose Prize. One was in the Chronicle of Philanthropy, which, so you know, is a national publication. You don't get articles in there every day. The other is the Plain Dealer. I didn't promise anything about body language, but anyway, so you've got that great one with the Chronicle of Philanthropy, Inez, and you got an article in the Plain Dealer too that was also really good. And thank you.